Grapple Gurus prediction video.
Yum yum.
Hi, all you BC WrestlePod nerds out there, and welcome to the predictions video for AEW's and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door. I am Mikey, joined by the other hosts of Just Our Three Gents, JVL, and the Professor.
Hi.
Sorry, I'm smelling a skunk right now, and I'm very actually surprised.
I thought that was your Christian Cage face.
No, I'm so weirded out by this. Sorry about that.
He's just missing a turtleneck. But we are here to go over the whole entire card, both 0 Hour and the main card for Forbidden Door, and we're going to give our predictions. The way that this is going to work is just like all our other Grapple Gurus predictions videos. We're going to go in order from the most recent match announced to the one that has been announced the longest, so the one that got announced first. I'm just going to preface by saying this, Tony Khan, I will tweet you later, but I need you to put all of your placards in one place. I had to go to 3 separate Twitter accounts.
This is the real important thing on this video. It's to talk
Yes.
about Mikey's actual behind-the-scenes stuff he's got to do to make sure this works for you.
Do you know how hard it is when companies don't give you all this stuff?
Yes, I do. I
know
also edit videos. I understand.
Just Photoshop weird stuff in there. No one's going to notice. And you
He barely watches the product and doesn't understand what goes on with this, so I understand.
Why am I getting heat for barely watching the product?
You jumped into our argument. This is an A and B conversation. See your way out.
I mean, I could turn the camera off and raise my hand. We discovered I could hit this raise hand button and just glitch the whole video.
No.
I could go full chaotic neutral. This will go well.
Save that for your future D&D game, because we ain't got the time for that.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
Oh
Alrighty.
yes.
Oh yeah! Snap it to a Slim Jim.
Don't just give away marketing. You got to charge people for that shit.
Don't worry about it. Alrighty. So let's begin. We're gonna start with 0 Hour because
It's 0 Hour.
I want to preface by saying this. By earlier today, there was only 1 0 Hour match, and then they decided to drop 2 more, so we have a total of 3 0 Hour matches so far.
I'm also honestly upset about the matches they're putting on 0 Hour versus what's on the main card.
Same. I was like, that's kind of rude for the 0 Hour matches, because I would rather see some of these on the main card than I would on 0 Hour. But let's begin. So the first match we're going to talk about for 0 Hour is our tag team match, and it is Willow Nightingale teaming up, I want to make sure I have it right, teaming up with Tom Nakano, and they are taking on Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe. Both, Watanabe, Momo, and Tom are from Stardom, teaming up with Chris and Willow. Chris and Willow have been feuding pretty much since Double or Nothing, and they're about to face each other in the semifinals of the Owen Hart Women's Tournament. That match is going to ball. This match is going to ball because of looking down the line and who's going to win in that match between Chris and Willow. I am picking the team of Willow Nightingale and Tom Nakano to win because I think Chris is beating her in the tournament. So
it's an interesting pick.
Momo's going to get pinned, and I think Chris and Momo lose, only for Chris to beat Willow when it actually matters. But this match is going to slap. JVL, I'm going to come to you first. Between these two teams, who do you pick and why?
I disagree with you. I think because of the fact that they're in a tag match, Statlander is going to be involved in the win but not have the win there, and that Statlander and Momo are actually going to pull out this win in heelish fashion. There's going to be some way where it's going to be screwing Willow over even more to give her that boost in there and then come up short in the Owen Hart tournament.
That's what I thought. That's what made sense to me, and that seems to be the typical women's storyline, which they won't let them vary from, and they just kind of keep playing the same chords over and over, which makes me sad. I would love to see Willow take it, but then I'd be a little confused on where we're going with the title after that. I think it makes sense to get the heat here as a heel tag and do some sort of shenanigans to get it. We'll see. I'm wrong a lot.
That is very true. Regardless.
Wow.
I mean, hey,
I was doing great for a long time, and then I had a 2 for 5 thanks to yeah.
No, believe me, I was the lowest scoring one on double or nothing. I'm completely off my game.
Andrew beat us, and he doesn't even watch the product.
Because Andrew's a calculator for this stuff. He's just so good. Anyway, we got like 30 more to get through. Let's go.
We got like 50 matches to get through. But Speaking of the Owen Hart tournament, our second match on 0 Hour is a women's Owen Hart match, and it is a quarterfinal match. It is seen Mariah May taking on Saraya, so they're putting this on 0 Hour as well. This is easy for me to pick. Mariah's beating Saraya. There's no way Mariah's losing, and if she does lose, I throws my whole entire how I think we're booking to Wembley is going to look out the window. But I have Mariah winning because it's going to be her and Tony at Wembley. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Mariah's taking this. We all know this is at the point. Saraya is kind of being used as that kind of stopgap at this point. She is not anywhere near winning the title again at Wembley. She had her moment.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what happened since then. That was just less than a year ago when all that happened, and now she's no longer even in the picture, which is odd to me. But I think you're right. I think that's where we're going. She comes back from the dead based on the murder from the Go Home show. I think she'll be wounded. I think she'll be kayfabe bandaged. I think she'll have a tough time. I'm interested to see what shenanigans happen around this or what's in the ring or around the ring.
They're going to save that for the main card.
Probably. I think, well, there's got to be a hint of something, so we'll see what it is.
Right. So our final match for 0 Hour is a trios
so
match.
So far.
As of this recording, so far, this is the last match for 0 Hour. This is LIJ, which is being represented by Yodatsuji Titan and Hiromu Takahashi. And you guys, people are squashing beefs out here because they are taking on the team of CMLL and AAA talent who have had bad blood for years. But it seems that they're burying the hatchet for now because LIJ is taking on the team of CMLL's top star, Místico, and he is teaming with Penta El Zero Miedo and Rey Fenix, the Lucha Brothers. I can't go up against Místico and the Lucha Bros. I have them winning this one. I love LIJ, but I don't think Tony Khan would have the CMLL AAA companies bury the hatchet and have a ceasefire for right now for them to lose this match.
No. You want to have, Místico and soon to be WWE wrestler Penta El Zero Miedo going together at that point. So it's you're going to have them win no matter what. I'm picking Místico and the Lucha Bros.
I think you're right. I think this is sort of an easy pick based on what we know and how these negotiations are done. I do think New Japan's going to get some wins in here somewhere, but I don't think it's here.
No, just like the last 2 years, even though we have all these wrestlers from different promotions, AEW is probably going to pick up the majority of the wins in this one, which sucks, but it is what it is. So now let's get to the main card where we're going to work our way backwards. So the most recently announced match for the main card, though, I did not get a graphic for it, but they'll probably give it to me the day of, which is ridiculous. As long as I have it for the review, we'll be fine. But we have an FTW championship match. We have Chris Jericho taking on Murder Grandpa Princess himself, Minoru Suzuki. As much as I want Minoru to win this match, he is not going to, and I have Chris Jericho, unfortunately, retaining the FTW championship here in this match, and it hurts my soul to say all of that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one too. I have Jericho winning this as well because there's no reason to have Suzuki take the title.
I really want Suzuki to take the title and maybe do something with it, but we can't because he physically isn't here. He's working someplace else. We kind of see that
He doesn't
coming.
go here.
He doesn't even go here.
I would be really ecstatic if he did. And I just hope this is a good match.
Are you ecstatic enough to pick him to win, or are you?
Not that I just went 2-5 for our last one, so no, I gotta get some numbers.
Come on.
So, Professor, lock it in. Who do you have walking out as FTW champion?
It's gonna be Jericho, but I hope he takes a pound of flesh.
We're locking it in with Chris Jericho. Let the record state.
I hope it's mousetraps that come out of the bag instead of tacks and dice. Like I hope we go
If
crazy.
it's forbidden doors, wouldn't it be padlocks?
Yeah.
Bunch of padlocks
and chains.
What?
That'd be fantastic.
That'd be fantastic.
We're gonna sit on that one for a little bit because we're gonna move on from that lovely imagery to our next match. This is a trios match where we have the team of Scissor Ace, which is President Hiroshi Tanahashi and the Acclaimed, taking on the Elite, which is being represented by the Young Bucks and Kazuchika Okada. I have to go with the Elite on this one. I think the Elite win here, so that way the Acclaimed and the Elite are tied 1-1 whenever we get the tag team championship match going into that. I don't see the Elite losing in this match, especially after the Acclaimed had beat them, 2 weeks ago at this point?
Yeah.
Oh no, the whole reason this was set up was to have Tanahashi take the pin from Okada, as we talked about in the Dynamite review. The Elite are going over. That's basically what it's been set up to be, and they just don't want to like put Daddy Ass on a loss. I guess he doesn't want to take a loss for them. So
I think that's the easy writing on the wall. Yeah, I agree.
So we are all unanimous. We picked the Elite.
I don't want to, but yes.
I know. So we go for the matches that were like, we probably could have just put these on a Dynamite or a Rampage 2 matches that I'm now super excited for. This is one of them. This is a Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament quarterfinal match. Gentlemen, strap in because this is going to be a banger of a match. We have Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi, the Dragon of Japan, man. Like, woo! This is going to be fantastic. I would love for Shingo to win. He's not going to. I have picked the Bryan Bryanson. Like, Danielson is winning this one. He's going to move on, and him and Hangman Page are going to have a banger match in the semifinals.
I mean, it's the same thing we talked about with Suzuki. He doesn't go here. Takagi's not going to stick around for another month to be able to do this. So, no, Danielson's going over to make it a thing, unfortunately.
I really want to pick Takagi, but I know that's
you should
wrong.
just do it.
No, because I'm bad at gambling, and you're that Patrick Warburton devil. Pff, go ahead, do it. See what could go wrong. I'm not going to fall for that again.
Yeah, okay.
It's Big Squirrel.
Go ahead, pick Takagi. Go for it, yes.
Bryan Bryan Danielson, Bryanson.
Well, okay, fine. Don't go with your heart. Don't make it easy. Don't make it fun.
No, this next match was really hard for me not to go with my heart. But we have a singles match: MJF versus CMLL star Echiseto.
Who?
Echiseto.
Who?
Listen here, Gringo. Don't mess this up for me, okay?
I'm sorry. I thought you were ordering breakfast. I couldn't. So.
It's huevos rancheros, you asshole.
Oh, huevos rancheros is so good.
And since I'm editing this, we're keeping in the swearing. I'm mad because Echiseto's going to lose this. I have MJF winning, but I think this is actually going to be a really good match. I really, really do.
All Echiseto does is lose. He's going to continue to lose. MJF is going to take it down, and he's going to gloat about it for the next, I don't know how long.
Yeah. Professor, who do you have walking out as winner for this one?
Yeah, it's MJF. It's a shame, but it's MJF.
I still think the match.
You seem so happy about this, Professor, to be taking these picks.
Well, because it's part of me. I love the chaos, like we talked about on a previous promotion not too long ago. When you do the opposite of what I'm expecting, we get very excited. But nobody likes the exciting things. They like the for sure things, and that's tough.
But I can attest to how excited we're all going to be during this match because this is going to be a technical masterpiece. Yeah. In a singles match, Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. This is going to be great. Orange always surprises me at Forbidden Door. He did it when he faced Will Ospreay 2 years ago. And then Shibata, Garcia, and Zack Sabre Jr. killed it in that Fatal 4-Way for the International Championship. So this is going to be a fantastic match. But I think it's finally time, and I picked Zack Sabre Jr. I think Zack finally gets one over on Orange at Forbidden Door.
Same here. Zack Sabre Jr. has not won in an AEW ring in four freaking ever. I think it's time for him to take a win here and actually showcase why he's one of the best in the world.
This was a coin flip for me, pick him, because I could see it going both ways, the way AEW does stuff, but I like the idea of Zack Sabre Jr. I think it's been too exact so far, right? Like, oh, everything we know. If you're going to call it quote-unquote upset, I think this is the one.
I would love... I hope Zack wins because, again, as JVL points out, he hasn't won. He doesn't win that often when he comes to AEW. He's always on the losing end. So here's hoping for this. All right, so this one's going to get a little hectic because now we're going to talk about the TNT Championship ladder match. So in our forms, we were asked to pick two people that we thought we were going to win, but the contestants in this ladder match includes Dante Martin, Mark Briscoe, Konosuke Takeshita, Jack Perry, Lio Rush, and the winner of tomorrow's Rampage qualifying match on Rampage is the final one is either going to be El Fantasmo or ELP of New Japan or AR Fox. So one of those two is going to...
Phantasmo's beating AR Fox. I don't want him to because we love AR Fox here, but he's beating
I know. Him. ELP is definitely going to win, but regardless, my two picks of who I have walking away as the new TNT champion is either going to be... My number one pick is Jack Perry. My second pick is Konosuke Takeshita. Those are my two picks.
Same here. Those are the big names in there for me, so we don't have to explain why. This is kind of going as we're going.
Is this all the same? Like, we all picked the same stuff all the way through?
You pretty much.
Yeah, that's what
It's very scripted for some reason.
Yeah. I would love to see Dante Martin get some run here. I'm a big fan, and the last few times we've seen him, especially 2 weeks ago, it was like, oh my God, dude's on fire. Give him something. But I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know if they have the huevos to do such a thing.
I would love it.
I would love it. Hechicero comes out, and it's like, oh my God.
I hate both of you right now. But I think they have something for Dante after this because they've been teasing this weird, like, relationship, partnership, kind of rivalry, but not really, between Top Flight and Action and Leo Rush, who has been reported going to be sticking around with AEW past Forbidden Door. So he's going to be there for a little bit, which I'm cool with. But we all have either Jack Perry or Takeshita winning this one. So either the Elite or the Don Fallis family are going to be having championship golds. Are going to be adding to it. You get a championship gold. So this is the only New Japan Championship on the line at Forbidden Door, which is crazy because the last 2 years we've gotten Forbidden Door, we've had other New Japan titles on the line. But this is for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. This is a rematch. We have the challenger and former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Tetsuya Naito taking on the person that took it away from him in Jon Moxley. I love Naito. He finally got the championship and he finally won the G1 Climax in order to get said championship. And that match at, Wrestle Kingdom this year was fantastic between Naito and Sonata, and I cried tears of happiness. With all that being said, Mox is retaining this one. I don't think Mox is losing this title anytime soon.
I'm going to go with you on this one, too. I think Mox is retaining, but mostly because of the fact that Naito, when he did have the title, didn't prove to be that big of a draw for New Japan in Japan. So there's no reason to put this back on him because they don't feel that he's good enough to carry it there. So it's got to be the next person beating Moxley is going to be someone they can actually get behind. So Mox is retaining until someone can beat him.
I'm torn here because I agree with everything you're saying, and I that was my gut impulse too. But why not
Vote for Naito.
Why not give it to Naito so it's off Moxley, goes back to Japan, and then they could do something with it instead of having to send Jon Moxley to Japan at some point when he takes a break or next time he gets hurt or wherever else.
I know, but right now, because Mox has that history with New Japan too, and since New Japan is in the current phase of rebuilding because they lost Will, they lost like they're rebuilding their new stars too. So I feel like I think Mox being there is good for it. Though I love Naito to death, I really do.
All right, I'll pick Moxley, but
you don't like it, and that's okay.
I don't like it. A lot of these picks, I'm like, God.
Then do the ones you like. Why are you picking because you have to? Because you want to.
Numbers.
Follow
so
your
I don't
heart.
end up with whatever horrible punishment we have at the end of the year.
Follow your
professor saw how we did at Clash at the Castle, and from that moment on, he's just like, I gotta do better.
We got smoked. I thought I was good.
Mini smoked.
I thought I was in. I think I nailed it, and I got devastated.
We both got 2-3. Mini won Clash at the Castle because he had the best record.
I couldn't believe it.
It was crazy. So we're not done with championship gold matches. We're not done with these yet because this match I am super excited for, and I'm kind of sad because I know what the outcome's going to be, but I think nonetheless Mercedes better be ready because Stephanie's going to whoop her ass. But in a title match, so both titles are on the line, and one of these women are walking out as both the New Japan Strong Women's Champ and the TBS Champion. You have Mercedes Moné, our TBS Champion, versus Stephanie Vaquer, our New Japan Strong Women's Champion. This match, I think, is going to rule. I hope that Mercedes has been training because Stephanie is going to come out the gate and hit hard. But unfortunately, as much as I would love to see Stephanie hold 4 titles, because she's currently holding 3, I do believe that Mercedes, and they're not going to derail from the original plan that New Japan Strong had when they created this title. I believe that Mercedes is winning and walking out as 2-belt Moné. So I picked the CEO to win, and it hurts me to say this because I have become a huge fan of Stephanie over the last month or so.
Unless there was any rumor that Stephanie was going to be all elite right after this or have a long run, there's no reason to do this. This is AEW's pay-per-view. They're all going to win as much as they can. It's going to be a good match, but yeah, Mercedes is taking it.
I think this has the potential to be one of the top 3 of the night, the way on paper, at least.
If they give them time.
If they give them the time they should.
And it does not open the pay-per-view, too.
Yeah, I think that if they do the work we know that they can do, which I think Mercedes is getting in her head a little bit from time to time, I think that this could be incredible. So, yeah, it's Mercedes. We kind of see that on the wall. I do think there's some upsets. I don't think it's this one.
Go with your heart.
I'll be wrong. Every time I go with my heart, I'm wrong.
It's crazy. All right, so now we're into our semi-main event now for the AEW Women's World Championship, and this is also at the top.
Oh, this is where we get 2 women's matches. That makes sense on a pay-per-view.
That's crazy, right? Who knew you can throw more than one women's match on here? But gentlemen, I am really, really excited for this match because I think both of these women are going to bring it. But we have Timeless Toni Storm defending her title against Stardom's Mina Shirakawa. I think this match is going to be great, but I see the Timeless one, Toni Storm, holding on to this championship a little bit more so we can get her versus Mariah at Wembley. So I picked Timeless Toni Storm to retain her championship in what I think is going to be a barn burner of her match. If they are given time. Hear me, Tony Khan? Give them time.
Give them more time than other ones on this entire card. You'd really need to. But yes, I think Toni Storm is also coming out here because of the Mariah May connection, but I also believe they're saving her for Jamie Hayter when Jamie Hayter comes back.
Professor, who do you have walking out as AEW World Champion?
If I was in creative, but I'm not, I would give this to Mina and string this out longer to get to Wembley so Tony has a chance to get it back, even though I know we have the Tony to Mariah May angle. That could also be happening too. I really want to pick Mina.
Can I give you something here that might work in your favor that way then?
Sure.
You have Mina take the title and taking it to Wembley. You have Tony, after Mariah wins the Owen Hart Cup, say, you owe me this shot, and takes it from her, which then before Wembley, which drives then a Wembley match once Tony takes it back from Mina down the road there before Wembley.
Yeah, something like that, I think. I don't think Tony's tired of having the championship. I think you have more to write if you take it off of her now. But again, if it makes sense, they're not going to do it. But it can't be this easy. There's no way we've just gone 9-0. I'm going to pick Mina.
Honestly, I would love for Mina to take it.
I want you to get that. I want you to get that.
I think that would be cool.
I would love for Stephanie to take the TBS championship, but...
Sure. I think this, because it seems like Mina's going to be here, and she's been here. And it might ruffle some feathers in the locker room that all of a sudden they're like, whoa, what are you giving it to Mina for out of nowhere? I get it. But who else are you going to give it to? Who's not busy? Who's in this arc? And if it's only temporary anyway, she's only going to be champion for 2 months. Maybe we could play with that.
That would be... I would love to see Tony go back to Stardom to fight Mina in some capacity over there.
As that's part of it, and also stealing from Mariah to take her thing that she won because you're my friend, but you'll give it to me, which puts that whole thing together.
That's kind of where my gut's going, is like, there's more drama in her losing it here after all that.
Yeah, and then playing on her friendship with the Yam.
And then what if she loses? What if Mina does it dirty and wins by some hook or crook thing, and now Mariah May has to make a different decision? Or something's weird. I don't know.
I think it would be fantastic.
But now that I've picked that, you guys are probably going to be right.
I feel bad for the professor when we do the prediction videos because he just feels so defeated by the time we get to the end. I'm like, no.
Well, not even defeated, because my heart gets in. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. No, fucking why though?
I know. There have been lots of times I want to pick with my heart, but I also want. I think I know. I would love to be proven wrong with some of these matches, especially our women's matches on the main card.
So,
I would love to be wrong.
I'm glad you're bringing this up. For this last one, I thought I knew until I saw that you gave 3 options.
Yeah.
And now that you've gave the 3rd option, you have cooked my brain.
Well, that's the point too, because as I was thinking about this when I created this too, I was just like, I'm thinking of all the possibilities, but what the professor is alluding to is we get to what is the main event, and we have it confirmed to be the main event, Forbidden Door. For the AEW World Championship, we have Swerve Strickland defending his title against Will Ospreay. And what the professor is alluding to is I gave 3 options on this predictions form. I gave that Swerve is going to walk out and retain the championship. Will is going to walk out and become the new AEW World Champion. And the third option is that this match reaches a time limit draw and we end up having to do it again down the line. Because I'm thinking, I was just like, you don't want Swerve to lose. It would be an interesting story bit to have Swerve give Will his first loss, but I don't know if AEW is willing to pull the trigger that early. So that's why I was thinking of putting that option. Now, I will go first. Even with that time limit draw, I would love for it because it's just the drama of it all would be fantastic. But I am going down the line that Will, by the end of next Dynamite, he will not have the World Championship because I'm picking Swerve to retain. But because of a meddling MJF, he's losing that title by the end of Dynamite next week. Will is walking into the road to Wembley without any championships attached to him. I think Daniel Garcia is getting that title next week. But for the sake of this match and with all the possibilities that we've discussed in the Dynamite review and heel, I think Swerve is handing Will his first loss.
So I'm going to say this also in a different way. So I also believe Swerve is winning. I believe there's interference by the Dom Fallis family for what he said, and Kyle Fletcher is caught in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I know Mark Davis isn't back yet, but you want to know where Jeff Cobb and like TJP and all them are. United Empire comes out after they go to beat him up, and he gets saved, and you have your big ending thing setting up this big match coming up to be able to take them on, which gives Swerve time to face off against Hangman before we get to Wembley when it all goes down with them again. But Swerve's winning.
I really want a 60-minute time limit draw. How bitchin' would that be for them to go 60 minutes? And if they can nail it how MJF and Adam Cole did a little over a year and a half ago, where it was quite literally 1, 2, ding, time over.
That match
5 more minutes.
That match was 30. That was a 30-minute time draw, right?
If they could do a 60-minute time minute, whatever they're doing, oh my God. I don't know if it's 60 or what they're going to give
hear me
out.
Was it Kenny and Danielson that went 60 minutes?
Kenny and Danielson did, but hear me out on this. 30-minute draw. He doesn't say 5 minutes. He says, give me another 30. And they do another 30. And it's another draw. 2 draws in a row.
This would be wrestling history if they did that. I don't think they will.
That's the thing. I don't know if AEW is confident enough to pull the trigger on this kind of stuff. This is why you have better writing.
So we could talk about this. This has already been 30 minutes long. I think if Will loses, you have more to do. You have somewhere for Will to go. I think if Swerve loses, where you gonna go? You're gonna go back to what for Swerve? Or you're gonna have people lining up for Ospreay. It doesn't make sense to have Swerve lose here. So I'm gonna go with what I picked and pick Swerve. But my God, I want a time limit draw and then do this again next week. This again at the Wembley. Have something go horribly, horribly wrong. I do think there could be shenanigans in here for sure. I do think there's something underneath that's going to happen. Man, we'll find out.
They've planted the seed with Will saying he doesn't need the Dom Fallis family. So we already know that's in play.
That's going to be the feud leading up to before we start the program, whatever Will's match is going to be at Wembley. So I think the Don Fallis feud is what's going to carry him to Blood and Guts and a little bit past that in July. But before we go and sign off for the evening, I want to read off, even though he doesn't want the product, our other co-host, Andrew, who likes to play along with all of this.
Andrew did all his picks.
He did all his picks before
Everybody
we did.
did what they were supposed to, except for our other AEW host, who will I'm making sure he gives me his picks when we do the Collision review later in the week.
Oh, Adolfo.
I love Adolfo. I really do. But Andrew has picked, so starting from 0 Hour, he's picked the team of Willow and Tom Nakano to win. He has picked Mariah May to beat Saraya. He has picked Mystico and the Lucha Brothers to win. He has selected that Will and Swerve will end in a time limit draw. Watch him be right. He has picked Timeless Tony Storm to retain. He's picked Mercedes to beat Stephanie. He's picked John Moxley to retain. Andrew only picked 1, but he's picked Jack Perry to win the TNT Championship. He has picked Zack Sabre Jr. to beat Orange, MJF over Echiseto, Bryan Danielson over Shingo Takagi, The Elite over Scissor Ace, and Jericho for Minoru Suzuki. So we'll see. And then once I get Adolfo's picks by the end of Forbidden Door, we will see who ends up the champion of Forbidden Door, because it's about to get crazy.
It's going to come down to like 1 or 2 matches between all of us. That's about it.
If Andrew
Or we all
wins
get
this,
hosed.
if Andrew wins because he picked time limit draw,
You're leaving.
I'm not leaving.
You're driving to his house and punching him in the face.
Yes.
No, because you can't punch an Andrew. It's like punching
No.
a boulder. He will let you. He'd be like,
He
go
is
ahead. And then your
Samoan. He
hand
will
just goes-
hurt you. Andrew
your
is
hand
Samoan.
rescinded.
He will.
And he laughs at you.
Oh no.
It's my time now. And then like that volcano lightning happens, and then
Oh,
you're
yes,
done
the
for.
volcano lightning.
Yeah, you have no chance after that.
But yeah, if
better
Andrew
than
ends up
Thunderstorm.
hosing us, I'm be like, really? I was like, well, I can't watch wrestling anymore, you
But then
guys.
Andrew's quiet, like humble way, he'd be like, I mean, it's easy, guys. It's like, what do you mean?
See, that's
do
the
the
other thing
numbers.
too.
I don't
As
even
a-
watch the product. It's just
It's
You know
enough.
what?
I
We're
understand
gonna-
the background code.
we're gonna talk. We'll talk about this once we go off air, because I think this is a fun conversation
Andrew.
to have
Andrew
afterwards.
is Joe
But-
Pantoliano from The Matrix. He could just kind of go, yeah,
He's
blonde,
Cypher?
brunette, redhead. Like he just knows.
Oh my! On that lovely note, that is going to be it for this Grapple Guru's prediction video. Make sure to tune into our review this upcoming Monday of Forbidden Door, where myself, JVL, the Professor, and Adolfo, aka El
not Andrew.
Montador the Second.
Bunta.
Not Andrew.
I could ask him. I don't know if his schedule
If
will
he made
allow.
good- predictions.
What would that be? 13-0. If he goes 13-0, we got to get him on. I mean,
Maybe,
like, how,
but he is
how are you
also doing
this?
GCW content this week too.
So it doesn't matter for us. If you're watching this, put comments in there telling Andrew he's got to join the review if he goes 13-0. Tell him to be there. Use peer pressure.
Love it. And on that lovely note, we're going to sign off for the evening. So thank you so much. Make sure to come back for our review on Monday of Forbidden Door. And from all of us here at BC WrestlePod, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you for the Forbidden Door review on Monday. But until then, adios, sayonara, see you later, and is that a horse?
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.